All right, well, welcome harp players to the tutorial on playing La Charreada. Let's get right into it. First thing we need to double check is our key signature. You have 3 sharps here, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp, right? Fat cats, go. Now here the rhythm, if you're looking at it at our time signature, so our time signature is 3/4, but we're in compound time at the beginning. So you're gonna be counting 1 lali, 2 lali, 1 lali, 2 lali. Now when you get to measure 7, it switches like all sones, they usually switch back and forth. And this one, it kind of stays on compound time, at least for the harp part, for the first 6 measures, and then it changes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 lali, 2 lali, 1 lali, 2. So the measure, the counting here, if you want to count with me one time, remember triplets are 1 lali, right? 1 lali. So we're gonna go at number 5, 1 lali, 2 lali, 1 lali, 2 lali, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 lali, 2 lali, and so forth. Now, this is kind of the gotcha zone here. Everybody usually forgets, se les olvida, this very first beat, you have a rest. So here, it switches from compound to simple time, but you have to rest that first one. So 1 lali, 2 lali, and 2 and 3 and 1, and 2 and 3 and 1, and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, all the way down. Okay, so careful here with that rest. 1 lali, 2 lali, and 2 and 3 and 1, and so forth. Okay, so watch the counting there. Our finger patterns, for the most part, we are going to just be using 1, 2, 3. Now I'm kind of set up in this inversion, which gives me A, C sharp, and E. So I'm blocking this A chord right here, A, C, E. All right, the C sharp. Now that pattern is actually going to start with E, C sharp, E. So you're going to do that 4 times. 1 lali, 2 lali, 1 lali, 2 lali. And then it switches. These two move up to F, D, and you keep the A in the same spot. All right? So 1 lali, 2 lali, 1 lali, 2 lali. That one goes 4 times. And then you move all 3 up to your next note. You're looking at measure 5, you have a G sharp, E, and a B. 1 lali, 2 lali, 1 lali, 2 lali, and then you're gonna go in triad. I mean in thirds. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all the way down till you get to 9. Okay. All right, guys. Well, the next tricky part is right here at measure 15. If you're looking at your music. 321, you're looking at that music next to you. By the way, you might want to write all these fingerings in on your own sheet music. Now at measure 15, we start with our 3rd finger on C sharp, 2nd finger on E, and then our 1st finger, our thumb, on the A. So should have another A chord, A, C, E, all right? Just in a different inversion. And then after you go 3, 2, 1, you go 2 finger to G sharp, and then B up at 1st finger, and then you play again the A with your 1st finger. So it should look like this. All right, let's try that a couple of times. Ready, and go. And then your gliss, all right? If you need to try that a couple of times, go ahead. Here we go, ready? 1, 2, 3, ready, and go. One more time, here we go. 1, 2, 3, ready, and go. All pretty much it. All right, guys, we're moving right along at measure 28. Now, measure 28, I know you have a up bow right there. That's probably from the violin left over, but you know, of course, you don't have bows, so you don't have to worry about that. But it's basically the same fingering, different notes with the same fingering as before. You put your third finger on the B, second finger on E, and first finger on G sharp. So you have this E chord. Okay? And so you're gonna go 3, 2, 1, then F sharp, you play 1, your second finger on the A, your first finger, and then first finger again. So it's the same pattern as before, just different notes. It sounds something like this. 1, 2, 3, 1. Oh, and actually it only goes twice that one. Sorry, my fault. Ready and go, 1. One. Okay. All right, so we're moving on to measure 49. At 49, it pretty much is a repeat of what we did at the beginning. So it's the same thing. Again, you want to put your third finger on the C, E, and A. So this pattern you should already have. Let's try with the metronome this time. It goes a little bit faster. The metronome's about 100. It's at 100 with 8th notes subdivisions. Ready? Right at 49. Remember to rest on the 1. All right? Starting the end of 1. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, ready, and go. 1. All right? And that should be that part. All right, guys, so we're moving on to the coda. Now, I'm mostly just working on the right hand. You have at 74, you have this same pattern that showed up at 49 and also showed up at the beginning right before A. It's this arpeggio, A, semi-arpeggio, but it's the same pattern, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, right? The fingering, and you just repeat that 3 times, and you would, except this time, instead of doing a glissando, you would actually chord out this E7 chord and the A chord, okay? So this one would go something like this. I'm gonna play it slow and then we'll try with the metronome. So C sharp, E, A, I'll get set up for it. And it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay? So the chord there at the end, you have your thumb goes to G sharp, then second finger on D, third finger on B, and you're just gonna go and then slide those up. Okay, 3, 1. Let's see if you can try that with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, ready and go. 1. Okay. If you need to repeat that a couple of times to get that done, go ahead and do that. All right, well, I hope this helped out. We'll go over some of the bass clef in another video that I'm trying to put together about just accompaniment, what you're supposed to play with the guitarrón versus this. For right now, for this song, just work on the right hand. That's probably the most important one. Okay? All right, guys, hope that helped.